Next News, breaking news.
They knew it was coming, they just didn't know when, and now they know. Operation Hypersonic Clarity. That's not a hashtag, it's not a bumper sticker. That's the name of the operation that's about to detonate 10 years of the biggest criminal conspiracy ever perpetuated against an American president, against the American people, and blow it wide open for the entire world to see. John Solomon's now reporting that President Trump may force out a mass avalanche of declassified records, possible action on John Brennan by month's end. The deep state nightmare scenario? Oh, it just began. Now think about what this means for you. The American citizen who was lied to for a decade. Every time they told you Russia collusion was real, a lie. Every time they said Trump was a traitor, a lie. Every time they impeached him, censored you for defending him, called you a conspiracy theorist for seeing what was right in front of your face, they knew it was a lie. And they classified the proof so you could never see it. The FISA warrants used to spy on American citizens, the coordination between the FBI and the Clinton campaign, the names of every bureaucrat who signed off on weaponizing your government against a duly elected president, all of it was locked away behind classified walls. Walls that are about to come crashing down. It's not just about Trump's vindication, it's about your vindication. It's about every American who was gaslit, shadow banned, and called a domestic extremist for refusing to swallow the regime's lies. The prosecutors in Florida will not be stalled by classified proceedings anymore. The truth accelerates, and when it lands, there will be accountability. Speaking of operations critical to American independence, there's breaking news you need to hear about right now. The White House just announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chain. They named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. Now, I've been to the Vizsla copper drilling site in Canada myself. I've seen it with my own eyes. What's happening right now in Alaska, bigger than most realize. President Trump just unveiled Project Vault, a $12 billion strategic minerals reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America secure. This is about national security. It's about never being dependent on China again. Now pay attention. Vizsla copper, it trades in the United States under VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V. Check the exclusive briefing because this story is moving fast. It's linked below only for Next News viewers. And smart patriots are paying attention, and so should you. Now back to the declassification bombshell that has the deep state freaking out. Now the mainstream media will never tell you about Operation Hypersonic Clarity. John Solomon spent 8 months fighting with the ODNI to get these documents released, and he specifically thanked Director Tulsi Gabbard for having the courage to battle the deep state, to pry them loose. 8 months in an administration committed to transparency. That tells you how deep this rot goes, but now President Trump is reportedly creating a process to bypass all of that, to get everything out at once. No more drip, drip, drip. A mass avalanche. And the targets? Well, let's take a look at what the Patriots are saying about this, starting with John Solomon on Real America's Voice. A mass avalanche is coming, yes. I need you to edit this. Post.
Well, first, I think the president will be taking some action in the next couple of weeks to create, I think we could give it a code name. The FBI liked code names when they went after the president. I like a code name. I think I would call this Operation Hypersonic Clarity. I think what will happen is, these documents, it took me 8 months to get these documents out of ODNI. And I want to thank Director Gabbard for having the courage to fight with the deep state to get them out. But it shouldn't take 8 months in a administration that's committed to getting this information out to do it. I think the president's going to create a process to get a mass avalanche of what we need to know, what truths we were denied the last 10 years out. It also will benefit the prosecutors in Florida who can get tied up with the deep state or procedures like SEPA, State Secrets Act hearings, which can tie you down for months. Get everything declassified quickly. Transparency is the first shot of the cannon. Then I think you'll see the decisions made by the end of this month on Brennan. It sounds like that's where they're headed towards there. And then Comey maybe in May, and then some others after that. If you're going to get a grand conspiracy case, you got to start. We all need to think about what we learned when we watched the mob movies, right? The Godfather or other great mob movies. The FBI and the IRS, they never get the mobster unless they flip someone high up in the family, right? The capo, the turncoat. When they got, and I think you have to look at this Democrat/intelligence cabal as a organized crime organization. That's what a conspiracy case usually is. You're going to have to flip someone big, someone that knows what went up above them and down them, or her, maybe for that matter. So somewhere there'll have to be a major person that flips. The Sammy the Bull. When Sammy the Bull turned on Gambino family, the Gambino family went down. They're going to have to do that. So these things are happening. What you're seeing is the deep state and the Democrats know that they are impotent in Washington right now. They can't get anything done. So they're using the state systems to continue that lawfare. That's what John Eastman's getting punished for. There's going to be a trial in Wisconsin soon of a very respected judge, Jim Trupis, for something that probably is not even a state matter. I think the Justice Department has a really significant opportunity. It is clear that a matter of certifying the election is not a state matter. It is a federal matter. It has confused me that during the Pam Bondi years that the Justice Department didn't go into that Wisconsin case or the Georgia case or other ones and say, hey, we're invoking the supremacy clause. This is a federal matter. The state has nothing to do with this. Get the hell out. I wonder if Todd Blanche takes that strike in the next few weeks and saves a Jim Trupis, maybe goes to the bar and says, this wasn't a matter of adjudication for the California bar, and takes the supremacy clause for the tool that the founding fathers intended it to be, which is for states not to meddle in federal central government business. I think that's something to watch for. The other thing to watch for is I do think that His idea on our show on Tuesday night has caught fire. I think in Congress and maybe in a court filing, you'll soon see a request to expunge President Trump's impeachment from the congressional record. Never happened in our history. It'd be a big deal. I don't know how it'll end up, but that'll be a big deal. And then, of course, what happened last night, Tulsi Gabbard not only made something public, she put in process a motion to create accountability. The Inspector General, former Inspector General of the United States, and that whistleblower now been referred for criminal investigation at the Justice Department. That is a big deal. And, you know, normally this would be outside the statute of limitations, but the statute reboots if something was hidden. And in this case, the bias, the falsehoods, and the hearsay nature of this complaint was hidden from prosecutors, the American public, the impeachment proceedings. The clock restarts on that, which means it's in statute. So Tulsi Gabbard just put something in motion that could also create some accountability.
Let's frickin' go. So we just heard about the impending mass avalanche of declassified records, potentially targeting John Brennan. Let's take a closer look at how President Trump plans to make hypersonic clarity an undeniable truth bomb. President Trump will begin to declassify a massive amount of documents in an operation named hypersonic clarity. Nothing can stop what's coming. The truth will always prevail. And now, the Democrat hoax for the last 10 years must end. Greg Jarrett talking with Hannity about the biggest scandal in American history. Listen to this.
America has suffered through a myriad of scandals over 250 years. None of them compare to what took place over the last 10 years. This is an ongoing criminal conspiracy to destroy President Trump, to drive him from office. And it began with the Russia hoax back in 2016. It was invented by Hillary Clinton, and it was appropriated by Barack Obama, Joe Biden, James Clapper, James Comey, John Brennan at the CIA. They knew it was a hoax. They knew it was a lie. But they used it as a pretext to try to prevent Trump from getting elected in 2016. And when it didn't work, they doubled down to drive him from office and destroy him. Even after all of that, and the Mueller report comes out and says, oh, there's no criminal conspiracy here, they wouldn't stop. They kept going after him. Part of it was covering up the Biden crime family and the corruption and the quid pro quo. They covered it up sedulously, and they did it.
They did it. And now they're all going to face accountability. Operation Hypersonic Clarity. That's what it's called. 2 words chosen with the precision of a missile strike. Hypersonic because by the time they see it coming, it's already arrived. Clarity because when it lands, there will be no more fog, no more spin, no more it's complicated, only the truth. Naked, unclassified, undeniable truth. And you heard Greg Jarrett. He laid it out. The biggest scandal in American history. Hillary Clinton invented the Russia hoax. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, James Clapper, James Comey, John Brennan, they all knew it was a lie. They used it to try to prevent Trump's election, then doubled down to destroy him. The Mueller report said no conspiracy, and they still kept going. The deep state spent 10 years building the hoax. President Trump is about to dismantle it in weeks. You see, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. The documents don't lie, and the documents don't forget. The documents don't get confused under cross-examination. They just sit there on a page and tell the truth. And the truth is that what was done to Donald Trump, to his campaign, to his presidency, to the American electoral system was not a mistake. It was a coup, orchestrated, documented, and now about to be exposed at hypersonic speed. So here's my question for you in the comments. Do you believe John Brennan will finally face justice for what he did to this country? Yes or no? Drop it below. Let's see where this community stands. And since you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That is how we send you the truth at hypersonic speed. When the notifications never, ever even show up from YouTube. Share this video with every patriot who needs to know the reckoning is here. And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Gear up and show the world where you stand. I'm Gary Franchi. As always, stay informed, stay free, and we'll see you at the next report.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. Truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.